I studied abroad in Paris, France, my first year of college, which still feels crazy to say. But at Arcadia, going global is kind of the norm. Hi, I'm Julia, a first-year art student at Arcadia University, and this was my spring break. Before we dive in, flashback to September when I visited Arcadia's Study Abroad Fair. This is one of the first opportunities for students to explore their options, meet professors, and learn about different courses and travel destinations. I had already heard about the infamous preview program, reserved for first-year and transfer students, but this event helped me better understand my options and get excited about studying abroad. Fast forward to today, after about 9 weeks of in-class learning, lots of reading, and plenty of preparation, we are headed to Newark Airport to depart for Paris. So what actually is Preview? The Preview program is a short-term study abroad experience built specifically for first-year and transfer students. It takes place over spring break, and it's designed to give you a glimpse of what studying abroad is really like without committing to a full semester. For me, it felt like the perfect way to step outside of my comfort zone without diving in all at once. I had never traveled this far on my own before, and the idea of navigating a new country, new language, and new environment was definitely intimidating. But at the same time, I knew that this was something I needed to do for myself. And the weeks of class leading up to the trip certainly eased a lot of my nerves. After a 7-hour flight and a slightly rough attempt at adjusting to the time difference, we finally made it to Paris. And from that moment on, everything we'd read about started to feel a little bit more real. Over the next week, we explored the city through a mix of class activities and just experiencing life in Paris. From our riverboat cruise along the Seine on the very first day, still a little jet-lagged, trying to take it all in for the first time, to the first time when we sat down for dinner at the most charming creperie, to the next morning wandering through Père Lachaise Cemetery for a scavenger hunt, and then making our way to Le Marais for a walking tour, thrifting, and dinner with friends. Ending the night seeing the Eiffel Tower sparkle for the first time, which honestly didn't feel real. To walking through the Latin Quarter, seeing places like Shakespeare and Company, Notre Dame, and the Pantheon up close, and then spending hours in the Louvre, completely overwhelmed, a little lost, but in the best way. To early mornings at the hostel, metro rides across the city, and days spent climbing what felt like endless hills in Montmartre, where I even got the chance to present my research at the Sacré-Cœur. We visited museums like the Musée d'Orsay, experienced moments that were structured and academic, and others that were completely spontaneous, like going back to the Eiffel Tower again and again, each time somehow feeling just as surreal as the first. There were day trips to places like Versailles, which was just insane in the best way, quiet moments in smaller museums like the Musée d'Oranger, and time to explore on our own, whether that meant thrifting, trying new foods, or just walking through the city with no real plan. And somewhere in between all of that, the walking tours, the presentations, the art, the food, and yes, a lot of pastries. Every single day felt completely different. Some moments were slower and more reflective, like sitting by the Seine or really taking in a piece of art. And others were non-stop, moving from one place to the next, trying to see everything. But looking back, that contrast is what made the experience feel so full. Being in a city where history, architecture, and creativity are literally everywhere made me slow down and pay attention in a way I hadn't before. It reminded me that art isn't just something you study in a classroom, it's something you experience, something you live in. And beyond that, it pushed me in ways I didn't expect. What started as something that felt intimidating became something that made me more confident, more independent, and more open to new experiences. Before learning about this program, studying abroad felt like something I might never do. Going away for an entire semester in a foreign country felt overwhelming and definitely not something I imagined doing my first year of college. But that's exactly where Preview comes in. If you want to see more from this trip, I'll be posting a longer, more in-depth version over on my personal YouTube channel at Jules_Chance, so make sure to check that out. And if you're an Arcadia student, I seriously recommend looking into the Preview program. It's such a unique experience, and it might just change the way you see your college journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!